founder of a conservative educational group, says the IRS actions should send chills up your spine. Kevin Kookogey of Linchpins of Liberty says the IRS singled out his group for scrutiny, asking outrageous questions. And now he says he is not taking that from the IRS, but he is taking the IRS, or thinking about it, to court. Kevin joins us. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you for having me, Greta.
Thank you. First of all, what is your group?
My group is called Linchpins of Liberty. It's an American leadership development enterprise, and our motto is to challenge the imagination of the rising generation. We do that by mentoring high school and college students in conservative political philosophy.
And so tell me, you applied for tax-exempt status, and you didn't like some of the questions you were asked?
Yes, we applied for tax-exempt status in January of 2011. The first substantive response came in May of 2011, and although that letter was not as invasive, it was a little more vague than the later letter, I knew something was amiss. I gave the answers I could. They gave me about 2 weeks to reply. Couldn't get a hold of an IRS agent. And then it was about 6 months of constantly trying to reach the agent on the telephone until December of 2011, when I finally reached an agent. First thing she told me was my file had been moved to another desk. Someone else was handling my file. And then I asked this question of that agent. I said, "Why in the world is my application taking so long?" And he said these words. He said, "We have been waiting on guidance from our superiors as to your organization and other similar organizations." It was pretty clear that that wasn't coming from down the hall. He didn't say where, but it wasn't from Cincinnati.
What were the questions that were asked that made you suspicious?
Well, I mean, there was a ton. I got a 31-point letter, and each question had subcategories amounting to about a 95-part interrogatory. But if I could focus your attention on just three. First one was asking me what the political affiliation was of the people who had mentored me. I don't even know the answer to that question in full, and it would take a long time for me to be able to complete an application. The next question they asked me was, what are my views on every issue? Every issue. And I don't know how I could answer that question without perjuring myself. But Greta, when you consider that I work with high school and college students, the most disturbing question that I got asked me to identify those I was teaching and to provide details of what I was teaching them.
All right, so I imagine, do you have a phone conversation with them and say their questions were way out of line, or is this all done in writing?
Well, I only had one phone conversation. I had repeated attempts to reach an agent. Voicemail, voicemail, please call me, voicemail. So only that one conversation with the agent in Cincinnati who told me that it was his superiors who had directed him to do this.
So are you going to sue, and what's your cause of action?
Yes, we are represented by the ACLJ, along with many other organizations, and we expect to file a complaint this week. I've actually not read the complaint because they're still making adjustments to it, but one of the things we're seeking is a declaratory action. I want to get my status. It's been 28 months and counting, but the rest of that will come out, and I think Jay Sekulow is probably better able to speak to that issue.
This is really outrageous, isn't it? I mean, it's not just your group, but I mean, night after night we have different people who come on who just, all they want to do is get their tax-exempt status so they can do their groups, and it's just the IRS has just stood in the way.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I mean, we've seen it in the news. Barack Obama's half-brother, he got status in a month, and I believe it went retroactive. And here I am 28 months and counting, and I still don't have it.
I don't know anything about that one. I know I've got emails from viewers on it, but I keep meaning to check to see, that one, but I can't corroborate or deny. But anyway, Kevin, thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Greta. Appreciate it.